All right, everybody. So what we're doing here is we're going to have a new podcast with myself and Cristi Bartlett, the head strength coach at NC State, and myself, and we're going to talk about everything. It's going to be called Here's the Deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. You want to tell everybody why it's called that?
Here's the deal. It has come up every time when you had to shoot it straight with somebody.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. This is
Here's
what's
the deal.
Here's the
Yeah.
deal. And there was always truth that followed it. We would be in the office. You
It's
talk to
like, yeah.
a coach or an administrator, a kid, doesn't matter. Here's the deal.
So
This,
here,
you got to do the hand thing. Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
so here's an example of that. So I bring Cristi into a football staff meeting, her first one ever. And football staff meetings are, in my experience, is a waste of time. In fact, all meetings are a waste of time with me. Everybody was like, "Well, why you don't have staff meetings?" And I'm like, "I'm with my staff freaking 15 hours a day. When I see them, I talk to them." So, I think we had like two meetings my whole career, and that was usually when we had to cuss somebody out, like not our staff.
Yeah.
Um, Wait, what was I talking about?
Here's the deal.
Oh yeah. So we get out of the meeting and nothing was done, nothing was said that was of any consequence or anything great, any groundbreaking things. And you go, "What the hell was that, big dog? We didn't do nothing in there, we didn't solve anything, we didn't do anything." I said, "Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
This is the way all meetings are. This is
Yeah.
why we don't have meetings.
Yeah.
This is I've been doing this for 20 some years at that time, and I never been in a meeting where it's like, okay, here's the plan, here's what we're going to do, let's do it, see you later. It's
It's a
always
lot of like mental masturbation. Like
thank you.
we're just running through like job justification and things like that when you're having a meeting that's revolving. I never understand those things.
Yeah, 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 I know. So here's the deal is what we're going to call it. Because
Yeah.
if I can get back to this, we're just going to keep going on other stuff. And we're going to have, here's what I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning a podcast where, like, we're going to try to get Boss Rutan on. I'm not saying he's coming on, but we're going to try to get Boss Rutan on. And I want to know how Boss Rutan went from a little kid in Holland with eczema and asthma to the UFC heavyweight champ, to being 22-0 his last 22 fights. What kind of mindset does that take? What kind of dedication physically does that take? Like, supposedly, and we'll ask him if we get him on, but he was doing like 18 rounds on the heavy bag, um, no sparring, and then he went and fought, knocked a guy out, that kind of stuff. So he's like, people that can figure out, I don't have everything, but with what I have, I'm gonna do my best with it, and it's gonna work for me. I'm gonna make it work for me,
Yeah.
So somebody like Frank Bill, who's my friend, who's an author, he works in a freaking factory, man. And during his breaks, they get breaks every so often. I guess it's a union job. He does his writing, and he's written like 5 books. That kind of dedication is so inspiring to me. So I want to do that. And then we want to talk about training, of course, right?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hobbies and things like that. But the more guests we can get and the more inspiring guests that we can get, I think that would be fantastic, right?
Yeah. It'll keep things interesting. I mean, pulling from coaches, pulling from authors, different artists, and things like that. They all have varying processes.
Maybe we get Taylor Swift.
That that'd be pretty cool.
I have some questions for her. Why was that
Yeah.
girl making the devil sign next to you during the game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I didn't. So
What what's your process?
we're going to ask Taylor Swift what her process is.
Tell us.
So here's the funny thing about Taylor Swift. So I didn't know she was famous. The last I heard of her, she was a teenager in Pennsylvania, and she sang that song about Tim McGraw. When I hear Tim McGraw, whatever, and then that's it. I thought, oh, well, whatever happened to her?
Yeah.
I didn't know that she
That
was,
was
yeah,
yeah.
she's so famous.
Right. She's super famous.
Yeah. But what does she do that's so great? Like what's the difference between Madonna, Britney Spears, and Taylor Swift?
I don't know. I don't really do Taylor Swift like that, but she like has a crazy fan base.
Yeah.
And I guess she's a good performer. She puts on a
Yeah.
great performance. She everybody loves her. I have no idea.
Huh.
I have no idea.
I know she's a liberal, no gun person, probably. Um, I seen Kiss with their makeup on and Gene Simmons shooting fire out his mouth. So does she do that?
I don't think she does.
Okay, so as I've seen the ultimate, and then he spits up blood, like God of Thunder. It's freaking awesome. And it was so cool. So listen to this story. So I'm in sixth grade, growing up in Maryland, sixth grade, and Herb and Bert were twins. Both their parents were deaf.
Okay.
So, uh, we're in sixth grade. We got to have somebody drive us to the Kiss concert, because I was like, I love Kiss, man. I had all trading cards and stuff. I mean, not like I love the athletes and stuff, but Kiss. And so the father takes us, and we're in the Capitol Center, which is not there anymore. It's a mall now in Landover, Maryland. And he's reading a book during the concert because he's deaf. The father took us,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and we're like, yeah, Detroit, Rock City. And I look back and he's like,
Reading a book.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It was really, I'll always remember that. I always remember that. But then it was a good show. I don't know. I just, honestly about that, I remember Gene spitting fire and blood, and then the dad reading a book, but I don't remember anything else about it. I guess it was a long time ago, though, if you think about
Yeah.
it.
You were
Yeah.
how old?
Sixth grade. How old are you? 10, 11?
Yeah, something like that. I
So it
don't
was
know.
70s. It was late
That's
70s.
that's like 50 years ago.
Dude, no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So I was born in 67. I'm 56.
Yeah, so like 50 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
Damn. Damn.
Yesterday,
Damn.
I was a teenager yesterday. I thought, man, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
So what's going on with your training?
What am I doing? Well, I had the last year and a half, I had a wild hair and I started some endurance training and did a whole bunch of running. I was up to like 30 miles a week, just running on pavement. And
Like you weren't around me, I would have talked you out of that the first day.
yeah, I got like, I got bit by that running bug and
Yeah,
it's,
yeah. Well, it
and
is freeing. It is freeing mentally. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was great because it's the same thing with like raw powerlifting. Like I could go into a gym with just a pair of shoes and
Yep.
lift. Same thing
Yep.
with grab a pair of shoes and just go
Yep.
run.
Yep.
But like I've got some itises going on. I got some quad tendonitis and like some plantar fasciitis, and it's been like 8 weeks where I just shut it off because the minute that something starts to impede with my lifting, I get mad.
Yeah.
So now I'm back to lifting, and just more hypertrophy style stuff. Because I'm always on a quest to get my legs bigger, and it's just I'm always working
Fighting a
at it.
genetic battle, but
Yeah,
they do
yeah,
get bigger. The thing with your legs are they're big up top.
yeah.
So when you have shorts on, you look like, oh, she's got little legs. But if you lifted your shorts up, you would see you got bigger. The vastus and stuff is not where your strength is. It's that
It
upper
is.
thigh.
So I'm doing a lot of hypertrophy training, probably training. It ends up being like 4 or 5 days a week. And then in terms of conditioning, I've got the athletes here. I'll call them in on the weekend and like I'll say, you want to come box? And
Oh
so
yeah,
I got partners there on the men's soccer team. I got some women there on the women's soccer team who love to box and they know how to hold now. Um, so I'll get them to come in and then run a bunch of stadiums and do some like elliptical stuff.
yeah.
Then lift.
How
Pretty
many
much
days a week? How many days a week you doing stuff?
conditioning stuff.
Of everything.
Oh,
So you're lifting blank days a week. You're running blank.
I'm lifting
Box.
4 to 5 days a week, and then I'm probably doing some sort of conditioning 3 to 4.
Now, why do you do conditioning?
It feels good. It feels good, and I feel like sometimes with lifting, I'm like after about an hour, I'm like I don't annihilate myself, and so it's just did I do anything? And so I like to have a longer duration of something where I'm like sustained doing something. It makes me feel good mentally. And I'll do a bunch of like I walk every day because I got these two dogs with a weighted vest, so like 40 pounds strapped to my chest for like 30 to 45 minutes daily. And on the weekends I'll do
Oh,
like
every day,
like a 2 hour hike
like in the
um,
morning.
in the morning, hopefully, or either in the afternoon,
Damn, you're in some good shape.
maybe.
You
But
don't know it. You don't know when you're. I mean, you just feel good, but
yeah, yeah,
that's a lot of work during the week, huh?
yeah. It's good, like because the sometimes like with if I've like I'll train legs twice a week, and if my legs are just beat, I won't put a vest on. I'll just go for a regular walk. But that probably happens maybe once every couple weeks, once or twice every
What's
couple
a
weeks.
typical leg workout for you?
I'll do a couple of I'll do some floor exercises, do some like warming up of the hips and stuff now. Like it takes me like 2 minutes because I don't have the patience to do any more than that.
Yeah.
And then right now, the only thing that doesn't cause me like pain is leg pressing. So I'll leg press somewhere
But
between
pain because your hip?
no, because of the quad tendonitis from running.
Um,
Can't
oh,
squat.
Kevin had that. You remember? Kevin had that.
Kevin.
Kevin Levrone. Remember? That's why he was getting the stem cells. When we went
Uh,
down and saw him,
yeah.
he's like, I got to squat heavier, but this tendonitis is killing me. So remember, he was doing 315 for like
Okay.
reps or whatever.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
do leg press for 3 to 4 sets, hamstring, like 2 hamstring exercises, and maybe 1 or 2 quads if I can manage it now, and then see you later.
So
Nothing too crazy.
what are you doing for the tendonitis all over your body?
Um,
Not doing
nothing. I feel like
bondage.
nothing.
Not
I
doing
like
bondage.
I'm not doing anything except I stopped the running. That was the problem. And then I was like, it's like, all right, maybe I should do some ISOs and things like that, some eccentrics. But it is so boring to me that I can do like 1 or 2 sets and then I'm like, I'm done. I'll do it like one day a week and I'll go to the training room here and I'll, get some dry needling or something. But that lasts like one day. And I'm like, I'm all
Yeah.
set. I'm all set. I'm not gonna go.
Just work around it until it gets better.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we've always done, you
yeah.
know?
It
Yeah.
goes away, but it just takes longer than probably it would take if I had actually put some effort towards doing something.
I have clients, they'll get tendonitis, like biceps tendonitis or tennis elbow. And I've had them. So I'm like, don't do this. Make sure you do this, all this stuff because I've had it since ninth grade, man. You know how I got it? My bench always sucked, man. It always sucked. And so I would bench more often. Like
Mm,
everybody was benching twice a week. I would go in there after I benched already just because I wanted to be strong as everybody. And that wear and tear gave me tendonitis, man. And that arm got weak. So I started bouncing it. And I remember I got rid of it because I stopped benching and started doing dumbbell stuff. But you know what brought it back? Wrapping knees. I remember wrapping Rob Wagner's knees, when he was powerlifting, and I
yeah,
would bring that shit back. It'd be throbbing like
yeah,
this.
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember running into the CVS or whatever it was called back then and getting like 4 ibuprofen. And it takes care of it. But yeah, when that shit comes out, it's awful, man.
It's awful. It's awful. Doesn't go away. Like I
You
wake
can't,
up in the morning now and I like put my first foot on the ground and I like have to walk on my heels because of the plantar on the bottom of the foot. And I'm like, I can't even flex my foot.
you're
And
a
then
mess.
like my knee is messed up. And so I'm just hobbling. And then once you get going, it's fine. But
Yeah.
my God, that first couple steps is just brutal.
So you're
Running's
not
no good. Running's no good. You can't, if it's you got to be
can't
like
run on a hard surface like that for
gotta be 122 pounds. You gotta be like you just gotta be 122 pounds just out there.
and
Just
you're
going.
like what 170,
Yeah, about 172,
5'8", 5'7".
5'8" on a good day.
Yeah, you're getting shorter like me.
I know.
Um,
I stand next to these in my mind, I tell the volleyball girls, they're all, 6'1", 6'2", except for the back row. And they're
so
like my age, they're like, or my height, they're like 5'8". And I'm like, I'm taller than you. I'm like looking at the liberos and the defensive kids on the back row, and they're like, no, you're not. And I go stand next to them. I'm like, oh wow, I am that short.
yeah.
I'm that short. And it's
Well, you should compare to Division I volleyball players.
I'm like, wow, these kids are
You
6'4". Yeah.
played what in basketball? Power forward.
I played the power forward. but I was a really good rebounder, and like my timing was great, and
That big old butt in people, yeah.
yeah, I was strong, so that was pretty good. But like yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm training wise, let's see. I guess I sort of take it week by week, but I make sure I do arms once a week. I do Oh, here's what I do. So I do push-ups between every set now. I do 20 push-ups between. So here's what I did this week. So Monday I did I think it was an arm workout. So I'll do like machine curls, dumbbell curls. Um, oh no, I take that back. Here's what I did Monday. I did 10 sets of 6 bent over rows with 20 push-ups in between. So 200 push-ups, 10 sets of 6 bent over rows outside while I was playing fetch with my dog. Then
Mhm.
Tuesday I did some arms, 10 sets, 20 push-ups in between. Wednesday I did um, shadow boxing, the boss shadow boxing tapes on the deck because it was a nice day.
You still have Bob?
I have Bob, but our friend Jay gave me the Boss Rutan Boss Action System. You ever
Okay.
seen it? You ever
Uh-uh.
seen it? Yeah, it's cool. So I got that, so I can do that now. But no,
What is it? What is it?
it's a punching bag, but it's like a tree with pads on it.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
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 it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, Jay wanted a heavy bag, so he gave it to me.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It gives so much that it's like you're not really punching, because it's sort of designed not to screw up your shoulders and elbows. Like Boss is like, now you can throw a left hook because
Okay.
it moves a little bit,
Mhm.
it gives. Because you throw that left hook over and over in a heavy bag, especially one of those old canvas ones, you're gonna get tendonitis, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So anyway, so I did 5 3-minute rounds of that with 20 push-ups in between. And then I think I did my arms again on Wednesday, Thursday. No, back. I did some back stuff. I did 10 sets of back, 20 push-ups in between. And
Are you back at the gym?
yeah, I go to the gym. My dog's hurt, so Rebel's got a bad leg, so it makes me feel really guilty if I lift outside and don't retrieve with him. So I'm not supposed to retrieve with him for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I gotta take him into the vet. And then today I went in and I started doing leg curls first. My knees and everything just takes forever to warm up. And for some reason, leg curls warm my knees up. Leg curls warm, of course, my hamstrings up, but they warm my knees up. So I did 5 sets of leg curls, 12 reps with 20 push-ups in between, and then 5 set of 5 on the five working sets on the belt squat. I'll
Okay.
warm up for a couple sets, but 5 working sets. Um, and I usually ride the bike 3 or 4 days a week for 30 minutes. But if I don't
Yeah.
do it at 5 in the morning, I'm not gonna do it. I have a rule. If I'm gonna do the boring stuff like ride the bike, I got to do it when I'm half asleep. If
Yeah.
not, I'll shadow box or whatever.
So you're not a big walker.
It's so boring, dude. It's like go for a walk.
Yeah, like you will like I've never heard you say I'm going
You're right.
like
I've
I've
never.
never heard that come out of your mouth. Like
I've been. I
you're
used
gonna
You
ride
know
the bike.
what? Dieting wise, if I was training for a bodybuilding show, I wouldn't do it because I didn't think it burned enough calories. Right. But if I was just doing it for some cardio and I was trying to lose weight and I wasn't a bodybuilding show, I would walk for 30 minutes. I would walk for 30 minutes.
I don't believe that for a second. I've
Yeah.
never I've never seen you taking a stroll. Like when we worked together, it was like, we're going to Baby Blues, we're going up here, we're
Yeah.
coming back, we're walking here and there. But I've never seen you like, let's go for a walk on the track. Like,
Yeah. No,
no.
I could hike, I think. It's just so boring, man. Like
See, I love walking. I love
hiking
walking.
without a gun. Hiking without a gun. I want to hunt if I'm in the woods and doing shit. Yeah, sometimes. But see, I've never had dogs that like could do walks
Yeah,
because they want to run. If you don't run them, they're like driving you crazy all day. So I used to run with my dog, but I'm
yeah,
not running anymore because when I run, it feels like my bones and my knees are just going like this together.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can shuffle. I shuffle fast as a mug, boy.
I be shuffling. Yeah, you're shuffling.
The I got a recumbent down here, so I do that. If I was trying to lose a bunch of weight, I would do minimum hour a day of cardio.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know. I don't even know how much it even helps, man. Think about it. You ain't burning that many calories.
No, not after. No, no.
Works. Is it
If
working because of that, or is it working because I'm barely eating? Would I still lose as much weight?
yeah, but you get so nutty.
I know.
You're so nutty in the middle of all that that you're like, I got to do all of it. Yeah, you could walk. Just
You
walk.
remember you remember that time we were playing Villanova, an away game, and Lisa was driving. You or Lisa were driving. Lisa was there.
It's a drama.
And I was in the middle of a diet. I was probably eating 500 calories a day, doing 2 hours of cardio a day. And I remember I didn't smile. I
Uh-huh.
didn't say a word the whole game. And I was in charge of keeping everybody back before I
Yeah,
decided I wasn't going to do that anymore.
yeah.
And I remember Lisa said to you, "What the hell is wrong with Steele?" And I remember she kept looking in the back seat and was like, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" I was like,
That,
"Yeah." I got off she dropped me off at work because that's where my car was. I still had an hour to do because, game days, you're busy all day. So I did it. I was like, I don't feel like doing this MF or this stupid, And I went and did an hour. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And I did my hour and got it done. Yeah. So I would get, I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do 30 minutes now. I could do 30 minutes after my workout at 11. I could do 30 minutes at 3 o'clock. And then I'll do 30 minutes at 9:30 or whatever after my last.
yeah, yeah.
It takes over.
That split drives me nuts. Like there are phases in my life where I'm like, I'm gonna go ride the bike or do the elliptical, but like I want to do it in one full shot.
Yeah. I see Rich Sulky, who helped me all the time, would always say, as soon as your metabolism, he always wanted me to do 3 a day. And he'd say, first thing in the morning, you're burning fat after you burn off the glycogen. Right when your body starts to sort of shut down a little bit, you're like, oh no, man, get on the bike midday, boom. Now
Yeah.
we're kicking it, start burning some more calories, and then in the evening to finish up. Um, my thing is, I used to do an hour in the morning, hour at night when I was training for a show, and I just got to hate it so much. That
Well,
hour, you got an hour to set aside. But if I just say, and everything's mental, it's all games you play with
oh,
yourself. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
30 minutes, man. 30 minutes is a sitcom. 30 minutes is a Seinfeld show. You can't do it. You can't do 30 minutes for a Seinfeld. Okay, get on the bike and you just start pedaling, you know.
you like the prep better for the B building or the powerlifting better? Or what was more interesting for you?
Oh, bodybuilding is more interesting because every day you look in the mirror and you look different.
Yeah.
Dude, I was thinking about this today. When I did I did a show when I was a teenager, but when I did a show in 2012, remember when we were sitting there and we were
Oh
sitting in
yeah.
my office drinking, and I was like, I'm gonna do a bodybuilding show. And it was like 8 weeks away.
Yeah.
And I found one. Yeah. And the next morning you were so hungover you had to go to sleep in the storage room.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, where's Christy? So it was okay if you were hungover, man. As long as you did your job,
Yeah.
you hung over and go take a
You
nap.
can take a nap. You can go take a nap.
It was the nappingest staff ever. Did Steven? Yeah, Steven used to take naps
Yeah. Under what? You would sleep in your office
under the desk
under the desk.
with my.
Brendel had it good because he would turn his desk around and like put his feet up on the back little back cabinet and just nap that way. It kind of looked like he was busy.
Yeah. And then the one time you were sleeping
And
and
I got
Steven
caught.
was sleeping and was somebody on the floor? No.
I was our administrator saw my feet under the desk
Oh
and
yeah.
called you, and then you called me.
I'm like,
And
what the F?
what the F? Tyler? And I'm standing in front of a basketball athlete, and I'm like, uh-huh. Okay, I got it. Open hours. I'm at open hours. Okay. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I probably only yelled at you twice.
Think twice. Twice. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the one time we had a supervisor who was a real jerk. And I walked in to the weight room and you were doing chins and you were crying. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong? Because I can't stand you guys crying. I'm a fixer. I gotta fix it. So I'm like, what's wrong? You're like, the supervisor's this and that, and I can't believe he said that. And because I guess you were eating eggs on the floor.
And
I was
wearing
like,
a
what's she gonna do? She's got open hours.
yeah.
She has to eat. He didn't lift. He couldn't even lift his panties. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, we'll set up a meeting. We'll do this. We'll do that. Okay, you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. Well, I'll talk to him. Then, all right, I came back down. I was like, all right, I got the meeting set up, and you were like, I really don't have a problem. And I was like, wow, what's the problem? You were like, it's just my time of the month, so I get moody sometimes. I was like,
Started my period. It's over. Let's move
I'm
on.
not hiring any more women now. I was like, why didn't you tell me, man? Putting out fires.
What a time it was.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. Um, so yeah, so that's my training, that's your training. And so how's it going at work? You got it busy? You guys made the final 8 or 4?
Final four for both men's and women's. Like the men's team hasn't made, I mean, they had a hell of a run. It was
Yeah.
wild. Um,
Did
the
you do
women,
you go to basketball games? I know you go to soccer games and stuff, but do you ever go?
I'll go and watch some of the women's teams or the women's basketball. I'll go over there and watch them for a little bit, and as well as the men, a little bit less random. They are all the way off campus when they play, like
Oh,
50 campus. Um, but yeah, right now, no, it's pretty slow because we're 7 days out from exams, so it's about to be open hours. So
it's
summer's
coming. That's what's great about college, man. The kids leave freaking May.
yeah, I mean, that's what it's just like. Somebody said something to me, and I took this from what, like, being at Penn with you for so long. It was like, guys, it doesn't matter. It's like 3 to 4 months of frenzied activity, and then you get a break, and that's Christmas. And then
Yeah.
you come back, you got 3 to 4 months of frenzied activity, and then you get a longer break. And
Yeah.
it's everything's temporary, and all this kind of stuff. So, but the good thing now, we're building a new weight room. So I get to, like, I've built, like, designed the whole weight room and all this kind of stuff.
What
With
you
Gabe,
like, what you
with
like.
yeah, with Gabe from
Oh, cool. Rogers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so we're doing that whole thing, custom racks and all that, and we got 15 of them instead of 10. Like, it's been a cool experience. Like, I had no idea that the whole deal was like that intricate. And I'm like,
I didn't know Gabe had North Carolina.
he doesn't, but I called him. I was like, I'm not working with anybody but you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know
And
what?
he's got a
I
good guy,
gotta,
and he brings him along and he helps and all that. He's great too. But I just, people. I've known you for so long when I was at
and
UPenn.
he
Like,
was a strength coach at
yeah,
Colgate. He was a strength coach.
yeah, yeah,
He's smart, man. He was smart because even though I didn't buy a lot of stuff from him, he was always super cool, always super friendly, always super laid back, which
yeah,
appeals to me.
right.
He never pushed stuff, and that helped him in the long run because look, you knew him, we all knew him, we all
Yeah,
liked him, and then now he's got another job, with you. That's the way you do things, man.
yeah.
Isn't it? It's so funny because it hit me one time when I started. Remember, I took off from football for a couple years and I went back. And then, so nobody knew me. I didn't have any of those kids before, right? I think I had
Oh
Jay
yeah,
Watt,
yeah,
freshman. Some of those kids I had as a freshman. But, when you're a freshman, you're just trying
yeah,
not to bend the shit. Um, but I remember the kids that didn't know me, I started to really talk to them a lot and talk to them a lot. A lot of the racks down towards your office. They had they had no idea. They weren't into lifting. They didn't know who I was or
yeah,
anything. And I remember I started, I would text them at night, hey, you did a good job today. Now, if somebody didn't do a good job, I wasn't going to tell them they did, but
yeah.
somebody stood out a little bit. I've always been really, really conscious of the kid who nobody pays attention to
Uh-huh.
and doing his stuff the way he's supposed to do it, man.
Right.
I always hated those kids. And when I played too, who saved up for that last sprint, they
Yep.
dogged it and then they saved up for that last sprint and they're running and the coaches are like, great job. And I'm busting my butt the whole time
Yeah.
and nobody says a word. And then, the fat kid finishes up, or the kid who saved it, who has no heart, and they're like, oh, that's a great job. Or the kid who's always last, and everybody cheers him on. F that MFer, man. I'm
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Cheer me on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kid needs to get his ass in shape and quit eating devil dogs. Let's
Yeah.
go. You know, I hated it. So when I coached, man, if you never noticed, I would say, don't be the guy.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't
be
be
the guy who saves it up because I'm never going to say good job. I'm never going to say, oh, you busted it at the end. I'm going to give, compliments to the people who go full speed. You're supposed to be crawling at the end.
yeah.
You're supposed to go so hard that, we're doing 40s, 1040s. That
Yeah.
ninth and 10th one, you can barely do it. Not be all the road runner.
Yeah.
You yeah.
It's always fun to be around that, these soccer guys, like when we condition in the summer, their engines are some of those engines, they're so big and they are killing themselves. And I'm like, that it's like impressive to sit there and watch. And it's just like, damn, man, it's amazing. It's incredible. And it's just like, wow. It's
Yeah.
cool to be around people who just like have no, they just go. And it's usually like maybe one to two, maybe one and a half kids that just like, I'll do what you say. I'm locked in. I'm
Yeah.
going. Like no questions asked. You said do it. And it's always funny. Like the kids come out like like you get kids like, oh yeah, like who want to not respect the program and do what they want to do. And you have that conversation, but then the kids that come back and they're like, and those kids are not always getting stronger. And then the kids that are getting stronger, they're like, I listen to you. I like do everything that you tell me. Like I'm going to bed a little bit earlier. Like it's like 30 minutes earlier. Or I'm doing this. I eat protein at every meal. Like little things. And they're like, I listen to what you say. And like I just benched 2 blues for like 2 reps. And I'm like,
Yeah.
let's go. Like
Yeah.
that's all. Like listen, respect the program. Like gotta listen and bust
Exactly.
your
I don't think I finished the story about the guys at the end of the power rack. No. So
yeah.
anyway, so they didn't know me. I'd be texting them at night, good job or whatever. And then they started to trust me and they started to trust you and
Yep.
started to trust Steven and Tracy and everything. And that was like, we didn't win the championship that year, but that was my favorite team ever.
Yeah.
Those 2 years. The first year was really fun. I mean, we did really well, but we didn't win the championship, I don't think, right?
It was a code. Wasn't it a
Was it a
code?
co? Okay. But I remember sitting there and going, oh, they trust me.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
trust that I'm not going to say anything or do anything. I'm not going to lie to them. And remember, I had those rules. If a kid asks you a question you don't know the answer to, say, I'll
Yeah.
get back to you.
Yeah.
I'll go look it up. Like if a kid said, Coach Christie, can you explain the sliding filament theory? Well, I knew it at one point, but I have to look that shit up. You know what I mean? Or just anything like what muscles does this work?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Even though we always hated that question, I would be like, I don't know that answer. Let me find out and I'll get back to you. And the kid they respect that. And what's funny is the sport coaches, a lot of them would think the kids are stupid. Like, oh,
Mhm.
they'll be all right. They don't get it. They won't even know. They know everything.
They sniff it out so quick. They sniff it out.
They're
Yeah.
freaking, yeah. They know everything. You can't fool any of them. As soon as you try to, they don't trust you anymore.
Yeah.
It's common sense. It's human nature, right? So I always felt like our staff earned the trust of the kids, I mean, we're real approachable, but the funny thing is when I would bring so when I would say something, people would freak out. Like if I would get on somebody, so I'd bring you down. You remember? I'd be like, hey, go get on those kids in that rack right there, man. They ain't doing shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could say whatever. You
Just
could
go.
say whatever
Just
you
go.
wanted.
Just be like what just bust their balls. Just like
Yeah. I
just
did. I
all.
taught it that for 30 this morning. You gonna put some weight on?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I went down there, they'd be like, oh God, Coach Steele yelled at me. Life is over.
Uh-huh.
That's funny, man. Um, So go ahead. So the soccer kids, they buy in. And then what about your other teams?
Oh, volleyball's always fun to work with. I work with
Aren't they
volleyball
great?
and soccer.
Aren't they
They
great?
want to be strong. They're like, I want to be strong. I want to be strong. They're like, I want big glutes. I want this. I need to look good for spring break. And they love the lift. Like there's no, I've had like when you were done at UPenn, when you left and I took over volleyball, there's no issues with any volleyball program that I've ever worked with in terms of buy-in to lifting.
So much
Like
fun. Yeah.
they just let's go.
That's the team. So I'd never coached any female teams before I got to Penn. I'd already
Mhm.
coached 15 years, 10 years. And volleyball come in and they're laughing and joking. And I'm starting to get pissed in my head. And I haven't been there long enough to cuss them out. But then I realized, hey, they're doing everything they're supposed to do, hitting all their weights, but they're having fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I can't do that, man. I can't. As soon as I talk to somebody, like I can talk to somebody and the whole time I'm like, this is my third set. This is my third set. So I'm sort of listening to them and talking, but I'm really not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't want them to interrupt my work. I mean, they interrupt your flow, you're screwed. You
Yeah.
know. But with them, I would just have rules like you can't talk about Wall Street, you can't talk about, the Dow Jones. You can't
Yeah.
do that. Or or
Yeah.
class. You can talk about volleyball. You can talk about lifting.
Yeah.
So if you're talking and it's constructive to what we're doing here, that's good. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. They were great. I had some strong girls. Man, that one girl, I forgot her name. Oh, she deadlifted 300.
Yeah.
Big thighs. Remember that?
Yeah.
She,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And I always would be like, man, your thighs look great, and
Yeah.
they were like, oh, because they don't want big thighs, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I remember I made the one coach cry almost because I told her her legs were looking big. Dude, it's so funny because if I said to you, like I was just talking to you before we went on air, I was like, man, your arms look killer, man, all this shit. If you say your arms look big, your legs look big to the wrong uh, female or whatever, they get all upset. I'm like,
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
that was what everybody wanted.
Yeah.
No, I thought that's what everybody wanted.
No. No.
No,
But like the girls that I have now, they're like, they love seeing new muscles. They love it.
softball was like that too. Softball
Right.
was
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Softball's fantastic to work with. They're just like, let's get strong. Let's just get
yeah,
strong.
big, and I don't
Let's
care.
go. I don't care.
I
Let's go.
don't care. They were
Let's
spitting, they were spitting in the trash cans and
yeah.
hawking up
Love
loogies.
it. Love that. Love that. Baseball's the same, man. It's basketball's finicky. Like there's some like you get one or two kids that love lifting, and then yeah, but volleyball, the baseball and softball never have an issue.
I remember at Penn, you had some kids squatting over 500 playing baseball,
Oh,
deadlifting five.
the kids. I had one of the kids text me the other day. He's like, send me a program. Like I've got like three or four kids or two, like probably like 4 or 5 kids right now texting me. Like, send
Yeah.
me a new program, send me a new program on it from Penn. They're great. One of the baseball guys.
They're probably all rich now and shit. They're rich as
Yeah.
hell.
He's like,
They're all
yeah,
rich. Dude, I go on Instagram and all the girls I follow and all the guys I follow, they're never in country. They're in Bermuda, they're in Jamaica, they're at
yeah,
some resort, they're on their boats. And if they're in country, they're in New York City at some fancy restaurant, or they're in Key
yeah.
West. They're
Or and then they like post things that like, okay, I'm a surgeon now. And I'm like, wait a
oh, I
minute.
know.
I was
Cooper.
like, who the hell gave you a scalpel? Like, wait a
Cooper
minute.
Cooper
Yeah.
Gardner is going to med school, or he just got out or something.
I think he just graduated. There's a few of them. Yeah.
No, that are actual doctors.
No, it's like, what?
Little dumbass kids, man. But we had some good kids. We had some good kids.
Yeah.
And all the places I've been, there's always, people talk about the youth of today and all that. Yeah, we got some problems, but kids we've coached, like wrestlers, football, volleyball players, they don't bring that in the weight room. They don't, you know what I mean? They're ready to go, man. They're athletes, they're Division I athletes, and they're ready to just get after it. And they're sort of separate from the way society is almost.
Yeah.
And football too. Football is like the last bastion of freaking manhood, and well, that and MMA and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, uh, where toughness and you can get on a kid and he ain't gonna
Mhm.
wilt on you, you
Oh,
know, where effort is paramount. But people don't worry about people's feelings. I mean, we've heard some. I mean, I've chewed some kids out, but I'm not. That's not my personality. But I remember we had one coach at Penn that he would be like ripping kids, man.
yeah.
And in fact, it'd be ripping. I'd be like wincing a little bit because so I always had a rule: you never get personal. You never ever say anything personal. He would get just a little personal, and kids would get that look in their eyes. And we had one kid go after him
Yeah.
during a game. Yeah, and I was like, oh man, and, he doesn't mean it, and
Yeah.
I probably said F that Emma. Don't worry about him, man.
Yeah.
Asshole. Um, But yeah, just athletics in general is just cool. And I hate it when like the NFL, the players are great, and then you got the league trying to always this is what you call it week, and this is wear this on your helmet and those guys just want to play football and knock the hell out of people, man. And
Yeah.
they don't want all that stuff. They really do. You've been in the locker rooms, man. You know how they are.
Football.
Yeah.
Play the game. Um, shit, I forgot what I was about to
You know who
say.
was great? You know who was great to work with? Kate. She's the head coach at Penn State now, volleyball. Kate. She was only there for like 4 months.
She was a coach?
Yeah, head coach. Now she's the head coach at Penn State. Anyway, she's awesome because you know why? She walks in there the first day, and I'm like, okay, coach, because I'm used to being around other coaches. Okay, coach, let's set up a meeting so we can talk about, the program um and what you're expecting and what you've been a part of in the past as far as lifting for volleyball. And she goes, yeah, they're yours. Don't worry about it.
That's
We
it.
don't have
It's
to meet.
special.
And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, you're the strength coach, right? And I was like, this is the greatest moment in my life. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. And she goes, okay, well, then just coach them. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'll come in once in a while and say hello. But she never came in and was like, why are they doing that? Or isn't that too deep? Or, why are they cleaning? Never. And you know what I found out? Her husband played pro football. So her husband had strength coaches all her life, and she played volleyball at Penn State. So she had
So
strength coaches.
they
So
lived it.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
lived.
yeah. That was the best. That was the best because everybody else, as hard as they would try, they would have to meddle just a little bit, just a
Just
little. Hated, hated. One time I had a coach come in and say, Indiana won the national. This is just an example. Indiana won the national championship. They don't lift weights at all. And she handed me a program where they're doing push-ups or whatever. And I was
yeah.
like, okay. Yeah. So do you want me not to lift the girls? Well, you're just so hard-headed. And I'm like, wait a minute. What are you talking about, man?
Right.
Well, you don't want to listen to ideas. I was like, okay. Then, you go into explaining the forces on the field that they're going to encounter and how having that pressure on your back when you squat and having that, extra strength and your tendons and ligaments and all that, but they're like, yeah, but Indiana won the national. I'm like, are you Indiana?
Yeah. No.
Do you, do you have athletes? You know what I mean? You have
Right.
athletes like they
It's
do.
just like you have kids like well, we need to be faster. Okay.
Mm.
Great.
Recruit faster kids.
Recruit faster kids. And how much time are you gonna give me? I got 15 minutes once a
I
week.
know.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes worth of speed work. That's great. It's gonna be a nice glorified warm up. It's
And
gonna be
pretty
great.
soon, Usain Bolt, look out.
Yeah, that's let's go. I mean, remember we had a coach at UPenn that cleans made kids blocky.
Was that the same one that said our team is fat? And
I
oh,
don't maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But that I remember that one, but
and
like
I'm
yeah,
blocking,
made him
cleans.
blocky cleans.
Yeah.
That it makes
Change
him
their bone structure.
yeah, makes him
Change their
blocky.
bone structure.
We don't
And
do
what
it. Okay,
what do you
got it.
say to what do you
Like,
say to something like that?
well, then I have no idea what I said then, but I asked more questions. Why do you think that?
Yeah. What's your
Because
reason?
what's your reasoning behind that? Well, do you have a measure? Did you
That's like that one coach said,
use
our
measure?
girls were too heavy last year. They each gained 10 pounds of fat or whatever. And I was like, well, how do you know that? He's like, I can see it. You know exactly that every single girl on your team gained 10 pounds of fat last
Right.
year by looking at them.
Yeah, it's
DEXA scan. What was that machine we had that did your
hot pot, hot pot.
none of that, just your trained eye.
Uh-huh.
Then we had that one coach used to put the girls on the scale and be like, you're fat.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy the stuff that coaches sometimes like do, and it's like, wait a minute,
And get away with. But we
yeah,
say we say one thing, it's over.
yeah, we got to. I feel like with the body weight stuff, it's like okay, if you do have kids that are super sensitive about body weights and things like that, like it's a matter of educating those kids as to what body weight means. Like, why are we? I don't think personally, I don't think you should run away from that. They should understand what goes
Right.
into body weight and all that kind of thing, like why weight fluctuates and from day to day. what it actually means, all that stuff, instead of saying no weights.
Yeah.
Um,
Remember
but
the one time, were you there when the two coaches from a team came in and they had been texting me the night before, and then they were like, I think we need to max. I think we need to do this. I think we need to do that. And I said, I think I texted back. I must have been in the mood. Maybe I had a couple of beers. I was like, I think you should let the strength coach handle these decisions. And they were like, what? Like they didn't expect that. And I'm
yeah,
like, I'm not going on telling you how to do your drills. I'm not telling you when
yeah,
you should do this drill or that drill or whatever. So just stay out of it. So
right.
then we had to have a big meeting, and the supervisor was there too, that old wimpy supervisor. And the head coach stormed out and said I was not inflexible, but hard headed, something like hard headed, and you won't listen and all that. I listen. You're wrong. So when she was like, dude, blah blah blah, we need to do this, this, and this. Well, and I'll say, well, here physiologically, why we shouldn't do this. I'll
Yeah,
put it on the board or whatever. You're just wrong. So
yeah,
I can't change biology.
right.
You're just wrong. You don't know anything about it. So you see your lane, go stay in it. She stormed out,
Yeah.
and our supervisor chased after her, and then the assistant stayed in there, and she was crying. You remember that? And I was like, what are you crying about? And she's like, I thought we were friends. I was like,
Okay.
friends?
Yeah.
I got a lot of friends, man. I don't need any more friends. I'm
You
just
don't
nice
know
to you.
anything about me. Yeah, you don't know anything about me
Don't
or
know
something.
anything about me. And then I said, I'm just nice to you so you won't go to administration and complain about me.
Yeah,
I'm just nice to you because of that. I'm just
yeah,
I don't think I said I don't think about you while you're here. I don't think about you when I'm at home. I've never thought about you. And if I never see you again, I'll be fine with that because I never think about you. Boom, boom, man. She was, I just, you get to the point where
rough. It's rough. Woo.
you had enough. You just have enough.
Yeah.
Then the
Uh,
one supervisor wanted to have a meeting with us. Well,
yeah.
first of all, he approached me during a team dinner with a recruit dinner. And I said, hey, man, if you get a chance, can you come over to the office? Because he was writing real condescending emails and meddling too much in our business. And I was like, can you come over to the office after this? And my staff and I want to talk to you. He's like, well, let me talk now. And I was like, oh, you want to do this now? And I started yelling all the
Yeah.
parents. And they were like, he was like, oh, no, 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 no. We'll do it in your office. We'll do it in your
Yeah.
office. Okay. So we went over there. We got it sat in our office. All y'all sat in the circle and everybody just went around ripping him. Boom, boom, boom. And I said, you know what? When I need you to bitch and whine to the administration, I'll give you a call. Other than that, we're good, man. Stay
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
Because whenever you got on because you had a hat on or something, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I
Yeah.
don't give a crap if she wears a diaper as long as she does her job. Wear a diaper and eat hard-boiled eggs and, have a beanie with a little thing that spins around on top. I don't care. If her kids are getting stronger, they're less injured, she's doing
Yeah.
her job, it don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember, man, people have your shirt tucked in. I was, man, dude, wear a flannel. Kids will love that shit. You walk in there with a flannel, some combat boots, start squatting 600 or something.
I love those pants. Where'd you get those pants from? Those recon pants that you had, they were black and they had the yellow. You had them first, and they were like they were all black with cargos on the side. You got them from Bass Pro Shops, and then I went and got them. I still have those pants.
Are they
And
sweatpants?
no, they're like tactical pants, like
Oh,
hunting.
yeah, yeah.
And you wore them, and I was like, I'm gonna go buy them. So I went and bought them. I still have them. They're like 12 years old, and
Yeah.
every time I wear them, the kids are like, I love those pants.
Really?
Need those pants. And I'm
You gotta
like,
text me with the manufacturer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good times.
I mean, we'd be in uniform. We'd have a shirt that said
Yeah,
Penn
a
on
pink
it.
shirt on, yeah. The
But I
same
would,
thing with the staff now, like they wear NC State something when they're coaching.
yeah,
But we're not robots. They wear some cool pants, cool shorts, some cool shoes.
three
NC
rules,
State,
three rules. Be on time, do your job, no surprises.
no surprises.
That was it. You've added one more for your,
I added one more, no complaining, because their jobs aren't hard. No complaining. And if you do complain, You have to make light of it. It has to be a funny joke. It has to be a
Yeah.
funny.
It's really, what are you complaining about?
Yeah,
People kill for those jobs. People
yeah,
kill for those jobs.
yeah.
People want to be strength coaches, they kill for that job.
Oh my God, everybody wants to be a strength coach is what I tell everybody.
Yeah. They have no idea what it takes.
No clue the day to day.
Yeah. But it was bad for us. I think the Ivy League was probably worse just because lack of staffing and 33 teams.
Yeah, four, four, four staff, 33 teams.
Yeah. So if your team trains at 6 in the morning and 8 at night,
Yeah.
but I used to let you guys go home and you would do jujitsu in the middle of the day.
For 2 hours. Where are you going? I'm going to jiu-jitsu. Okay. See you
Yeah.
later.
Because
Bye.
it helped you as a coach, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and what am I gonna say? No, you can't do that. Why? She does her job. She's on time and she doesn't have, well, I do have, there's a couple surprises. The one time, yeah, the one, we won't talk about the Christmas party, but I got that phone call. I'm driving down the road. I'm like,
Yeah. Here she
you
goes.
know why? Because if I found you like that, it wouldn't have been any big deal. But the people that saw you, they were like, something's wrong with her. Yeah. She had too much to drink. That's
It's her
all.
first Christmas party. It's her first one. It's okay.
Yeah.
She got
Yeah.
excited. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess we should stop.
Here's the deal.
This is here's the deal. This is the introductory episode. So I'll put it up on YouTube and I'll put it up on Apple and Spotify and all that. And we got to
Yeah.
come up with a picture for it and you were supposed to do that.
100% trying.
Because it's a picture of me with dead geese and hunting and stuff. And we got to do some sort of shows which I love, but there's show a little more of what we're all about with this podcast.
You got it.
What do you think?
Well,
Once a week? Once every 2 weeks?
probably once every 2 weeks. Get in a
Okay.
good. Yeah.
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 All right, cool. All right,
Cool.
ladies and gentlemen, that's here's the deal. I hope we have more than like 67. I looked at the last one we did where 67 people watched it.
Yeah.
You say we would get 20 episodes.
You gotta get 20. You gotta get 21.
On the 21st episode, we're gonna be hitting it big.
You're hitting the big.
I'll have a microphone by then.
Yeah, you're gonna have a room with the padding on the wall, all that stuff.
Comfortable chairs.
Let's go. You're gonna have a fucking headset,
Yeah.
a ring light, the light making you look all shiny and stuff, all bright. It's gonna be good.
None of this is ever gonna happen. We're gonna be the 400th episode, same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. You good?
Yep. Yeah, I'm
All right.
great.
All right, we'll talk later.
All right, see ya.
You still there? Why can't I hear you?